Hello, I'm gonna do a demonstration on how to use the Dermaroller at home. In the past, I've been using it for a couple of years. In the past, I've always been using these Dermarollers, the manual ones. But now I got the actual Derminator, which has fantastic reviews. And it's a machine that is very flexible because you can adjust the length of the needle, the number of the needles, and the speed. First of all, you need to clean your face before doing anything. And at the first stage, you're just gonna need to put some numbing cream on your face. You cannot do if you're using a needle that it's not that deep, but I'm going to use something over 1 millimeter, and your face is gonna bleed a little bit and it's gonna be a little bit painful, so I rather use some numbing cream. They usually recommend you to use the EMLA cream, and but it's very expensive and you have to get it in the pharmacies. So I just got this numbing cream on eBay. It's super numb. It's just a generic cream to put when you gonna have a tattoo, and it's exactly the same as EMLA cream. It just has only lidocaine, and you need to put it on all the areas in a thick layer, and all the areas that you're gonna treat. So after you put the cream on, you're just gonna use some cling film, and I already pre-cut some parts. So you're gonna put some cling films on the areas that you have put the numbing cream, and you're gonna keep it on for about 30 to 40 minutes. They say even longer than that, but you can feel by touching your face when it's gonna be ready. So I'm just gonna start putting a layer all over the areas I want to treat, and I'm gonna attempt to do the whole face. It's gonna be painful. You can do one part at a time, one side of the face one day, the other one the other day, but it's just nicer to have all the face to recover at the same time. I'm not going to treat the cheeks, and I'm not going to treat the nose. The nose is very bony, so it might be too painful, or you actually might damage the vessels there. And the cheeks, I'm not going to treat them because I have a little bit of capillary, so I rather not touch this area. I'm going to get quite close toward the eye, so I'm just going to stop where the bone finishes, so I'm not going to go any close to the eye. And I'm gonna treat this part in between the eyebrows and the marionette lines. So I'm gonna put a very deep layer here. A thick layer. And now with this spatula that actually comes with the cream when you order it, I'm just gonna smooth it out. You can be generous because when you're gonna put the cling film on, it's gonna move a little bit. And also this cream is pretty cheap. You can get 5 tubes for very few pounds. You could also do the area on top of the lip, but it is actually pretty painful, so I'm just gonna treat the chin and the marionette lines. You can do the cheeks as well if you want. It's just that I prefer not to avoid any more redness on my face. I'm I'm just gonna make sure I put a lot of numbing cream in the areas that I'm gonna insist more. It's not gonna completely take away the pain. Not that it's really painful, but you can feel definitely the needle going to the skin. But it definitely helps a lot when you're doing the treatment. So once you've done this, you're gonna put, I already pre-cut some pieces of cling film, and you just place them on top of the cream, so you make sure it doesn't dry out, and it helps speed up the numbing effect. I didn't really cut it very well, but, and then on the side, yeah, it looks pretty stupid, but it works. Yeah, final piece. Okay, now I'm gonna leave it on for about 30 to 40 minutes, and I will be back to show the rest of the treatment. Okay, now about 45 minutes has passed since I put my numbing cream on, and I'm now gonna use the Derminator. I'm not a professional, I'm just someone that have read some information about this for a while, and so it's at your own risk if you decide to do this at home. I did a lot of trial and error until I got the result I want. The reason I did this video is because when I first started doing this treatment, I didn't find any proper video showing how it's actually working. Even the Derminator company itself, it shows the machine in action, but without actually using a needle, so you just see the movement, but you don't see the effect. In fact, when I first finished it, I was really red, so I was wondering, is this how it's supposed to do? Is this what it's supposed to be? So that's why those of you who are going to watch this video are going to be reassured that the effect, the kind of pain and the redness you have after it is all part of the treatment. So at this stage, what you're going to need is the Derminator, which comes from, I bought it from the owndoc.com website, and most of the information I have about derma needling is from this website. So I'm not going to go into the specific on how the machine works, or how you do the treatment, because you can find all this information online. So I'm just going to go straight into it and show you how I do it. So what you're going to need for the treatment is the actual Derminator, and then you're going to need to remove the numbing cream using some antiseptic. So you're gonna have to disinfect the areas you're gonna treat, and you have to remove completely all the cream. So when you're treating, you're not actually pushing into the skin the numbing cream. And also, when you finish the derma needling, you're gonna need to clean your face again with some cotton pads and disinfect the skin and take away all the blood residuals. And once you finished, you're gonna use a cream that they recommend on this website that is called Infadolan, and is a cream that is very rich, oily and thick, based on vitamin A, that is gonna create a barrier for your skin, so it doesn't get infected, it gets nourished and protected from the environment. So I'm gonna start doing the forehead, and then I'm gonna do the side, because I'm gonna use two different needles on the side of the face. So I will show you that. I actually have never done it before, but I will do attempt the treatment with one needle. So first of all, I'm gonna remove the top part. And I'm going to remove all the numbing cream. It's pretty numb. I can barely feel the tissue touching my skin, which is all good. It's normal, it feels like your face is swollen, but it's just because you lost the sensibility of the face. And then I'm gonna put some disinfectant. Also, I disinfected the machine, so the needles, every time I use them, I disinfect them before and after treatment. So you make sure everything is nice and clean. And on the machine you can select the area for optimal treatment, so you get the right amount of needling, but I rather set it so it does a continuous flow, because I'm gonna probably stop and go back depending how I feel. I prefer doing it, feeling it, rather than using the system they want you to use. So I'm gonna select the number of needles I'm using. For the forehead, I'm using the 9 needles head, and I'm not gonna use the timer. I'm just gonna select the speed and the depth, so I can control myself how long I want to treat the area. I rated on this before and I started with the medium speed. Now I'm gonna attempt with the fast, so it's much faster to treat an area. Otherwise it might take like 10-15 minutes and you're basically just in pain for longer. So it's better to go straight into it, bleed a little bit and get it done. So it's normal, you're gonna have some pinpoint bleeding. You need to be a bit practical of this before, maybe starting with a lower needle. I always go from 1 millimeter above, depending how I can tolerate. And for now I'm gonna select 1 millimeter. The first time I did more and it was actually quite painful. I'm gonna probably use a bit a deeper needle on this area where I have chickenpox mark. So I'm insisting on the areas I want to improve, and so I'm gonna use 1 millimeter because in the forehead there's a lot of, it's very close to the bone, so it's gonna penetrate very quickly. So you have to go in a rotatory motion, like they show on the website. The numbing cream also reduces the pain, but also reduces the blood flow, so you're gonna bleed less when you're using the numbing cream. As they say, you should do this treatment between 4 and 5 weeks on the same area. You should repeat it between 4 and 5 weeks. And it takes quite a long time to start seeing results. It's a very slow treatment to see improvement, because you're actually activating the collagen by creating a microtrauma on the skin, and the collagen regeneration is quite a slow process and it's very subtle, so you have to kind of repeat it about 5 or 6 times. So you're going to start seeing some results in about 6 months time. this area is very painful without the numbing cream, so I'm glad I did put the numbing cream this time. The first time I did it without numbing cream because on the actual website on.com they say it's pain-free. It's not pain-free, you can tell this is not pain-free. At the moment it's pain-free because you have the numbing cream. Then you're gonna feel like you had a slight sunburn. You might have some bruising, and they're gonna go away in about 2 or 3 days. And you're gonna start also peeling some area, which is all good signs that the skin is regenerating. Yeah, it looks pretty scary, but the first time I did it I was a bit concerned, but then I realized that this is what it's supposed to look like. I actually sent a message to the website ondoc.com and they reassured me that this is normal. But nowhere online I could actually find this showing up. They all show you that it's very... The actual website show you the treatment without using the needle, just to show you the motion of the treatment. So now I'm going to increase the depth to treat this chicken pox marks. I'm gonna try 150, which is pretty intense. Okay, and if you have some lines, you probably want to use the 1.5 on these lines too. So this is what it's gonna look like. Now I can disinfect and clean all the blood. You are going to look red for a while. And it's normal apparently. Your skin has a very good ability to recover itself, so you're gonna look like this just for about half an hour, 1 hour, and then you're just gonna see the bluish part where you have a small bruise. And as the numbing cream wears off, you're gonna feel a little bit hot. Okay, now I can start on the side. So I'm doing the same thing, taking off the numbing cream. Can you imagine I used 1 millimeter and this is the result. So the comparison between this manual Dermaroller and the machine is that the machine penetrates much deeper, so it corresponds to a 2 millimeter of this one, because the speed and the weight of the head of the machine helps you getting very deep. Okay, now I have taken off the side of the face and I'm going to do the same treatment on this area where I put the numbing cream. In this area that is softer, the needles penetrate less deep, so you're gonna notice less bleeding. And what you can do is actually pull the skin a little bit and push a little bit more with the head, because the bone is not as close, so you need to help a little bit to penetrate the needle. I'm gonna set again the fast speed and 1 millimeter, because around the eye I'm quite close to the bone. disinfected all the face and clean it properly with some water. You're gonna need to put an Aftercare Cream, and you don't really need very much because it's very thick and greasy, but it's gonna feel very good when you have it on, because the skin now is really raw and sore, and this one is gonna help healing it and protecting it from any bacteria and just moisturizing it in general. Thank you very much, and I hope you found this video helpful, and please write me any comment. This is now how I look like 4 hours after the treatment. This is just to show you that it's actually, the redness is going down. You can see the pinpoint blood spots, but the all redness is going down. It feels still a little bit sore. It's kind of very sensitive. I put some ice pack to feel better, and the area that has been treated, mostly they are slightly swollen, which is normal because you get more blood flow where you have treated your lines, and especially this area that I treated twice, it definitely looks a little bit more swollen. So just to show you that this is normal. If you look like this after 4 hours, it's definitely, you don't have to be worried. Tomorrow the redness is gonna be gone, and I'm just gonna have the little red dots that they're gonna fade over time.